and breathe. Okay, so today is the 13th of February 2024. So let's do another video diary. How have I been? So I have been okay. I think. It's the exact same answer as I said to my therapist. 1 second. Just drink some water. Yeah. Sorry, I'm kind of like craving this orange as well. It's just staring at me, so I'm gonna eat an orange while I talk, I suppose. So how have I been? So yeah, so I've been okay, I think. So I'm still at D's. Do you know what? I honestly am so thankful for the people that God has placed in my life. Like, really, I'm so thankful because each person that I'm close to, or not even like, sorry, I'm struggling to make eye contact, and that's what I've noticed recently. I'd say in the last 6 months, I've been struggling to kind of like make eye contact. I'm not really sure why. It's something I'll just have to think about, but which then affects because I'm like looking elsewhere. Even if I'm having a conversation with somebody, like I won't look at them in the eye, and I'll tend to look above them or on the left or on the right. Yeah, I don't tend to. So this is me practicing of looking at people in the eye. I lost my train of thought again. I'm saying a lot of ums. I don't know why. There's a lot of I don't know. I can't even remember what I was saying. This is where I feel that I'm neurodivergent. It's a bit of a kick, but it's sweet. Because my train of thought, I always lose my train of thought, and I struggle to sit still. I notice. There's talks about, when I say talks, I'm talking like with me and my therapist and between me and my friends, about me potentially having ADHD. A lot of people seem to be getting diagnosed with ADHD, but the thing is, it's always been there. It's just that there's a small awareness of it. In terms of my situation, I didn't really want a diagnosis because I was like, I don't feel that there's a need to. A diagnosis would do nothing for me, I thought. A diagnosis would just mean whether I have it or not. I don't really feel that my symptoms of ADHD or traits of ADHD are significantly affecting me in my life like some people. It's a spectrum, remember. So there's different levels of it. But yeah, so in terms of me, I don't really feel that it's significantly affecting me. I just feel that I know that it does hinder me in some ways in terms of my organizational skills, putting a structure in. I struggle. I'm really trying to put a structure in my day to day, but it just doesn't come naturally for me. I feel like it takes me, it uses around like 70% of my brain capacity I have to use because I can't, yeah, and then I get so tired. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought again. But yeah, so it's a struggle for me to actually be focused unless there is something that I'm really interested in and something that I can focus on, then I can be hyper focused on it. For example, the conversation I just had, I remember what I said earlier, and I was saying that I'm still here at D's, and I just went on for about a few minutes talking about everything else but the topic that I wanted to talk about, what I was initially talking about, because I got distracted. Anyway, before that thought goes, I'm so grateful for the people that God has placed in my life. Because the thing is, I'm not really deeping it. Because adult me, this 25-year-old Megan, 25? Girl, I'm not 25 years old. I'm turning 27 this year. Oh my gosh. Either way, I'm grateful. But anyways, this present version of myself feels that I'm like, I'm okay. I'm equipped. Like, God's got a back. I'm quite very logical because I can think of other perspectives and think about it in different ways. However, I tend to forget that my inner child and my inner teenager, they kind of like seep out sometimes. And that's in terms of the, when I say seep out, like in terms of their presence, but my inner teenager feels that is like if I come across a situation at this present moment, and obviously I get affected as present me, 26-year-old Megan, 20, yeah, that can cope with it. However, there are unhealed versions of myself, and those are my inner child and my inner teenager where I experienced emotional trauma. They then tend to seep out. And when I'm not aware of it, when I'm not aware of the fact that my inner teen and inner child, the younger versions of myself, are also affected too. So I need to try and sorry, I'm really trying to focus to talk about what I'm saying, but my brain's like, I can hear the birds outside and I can hear sort of what's going on downstairs. So like yeah. 1 second. That's also what I found as well, is that as I'm going through therapy and I'm really finding out more and finding out a lot of stuff about myself, I feel like I'm regressing. And in terms of I feel like I'm subconsciously unmasking. So the coping mechanisms and the habits that I've done throughout my life to get to where I am now, it's me masking because it's me trying to fit in the society or the environment that I'm in. And as I'm going through therapy and as I'm finding out more stuff about myself, I'm slowly sort of breaking down those different masks and those different versions of myself that I've put up as a front to try and fit into society. So as I'm unmasking, taking off each mask, and I'm like, no, I want to be authentically myself, and I'm not going to be putting a mask for other people to try and fit in the society. That's what I'm learning to do. And those versions, like that kind of, yeah, I'm regressing in terms of I'm really showing myself. I lost my train of thought. This is what's hard. Sorry, I'm just like, let me bring this up a little bit. I am finding it difficult. I am finding this situation difficult too. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, sorry, I'm just trying to focus. Going back to what I was saying is like when I feel like I'm regressing, I feel like that those kinds of coping mechanisms, behaviors, habits that I've learned along the way are now breaking down. So I'm yes, subconsciously unmasking. And I feel like that's why I'm now noticing more about my thought patterns and the way that I navigate through life. Because even the other day, right, so I'm trying not to swear. I was literally in doing my shopping. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the birds. As I was doing my shopping, I've written out a list and I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna get. That's all I need. Because what I've noticed is that I always just when I go shopping, I'm like, oh, let me buy that. Oh, actually, and then I battle in my head and I can't see that kind of like although I see a logic to it, sometimes there's that impulsivity that I'm like, oh, I do really fancy that, and I'm just gonna do it. I can never stick to my list. I ended up deviating from my list or buying things more, and I actually don't even end up looking at my list. So recently, as I'm going about in my day-to-day life, what I've noticed is that I'm going shopping. I've got this list the other day, and had this list. I was like, okay, I'm going to buy this, 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 this. Okay, so I was like looking at things, and then there was something that grabbed my attention, and I was like, oh, let me get that. And I'm like, no, I'm also trying to be financially conscious too. So I'm trying not to buy things that I don't need. So when part of me was just like, I suppose you can say that's like the little kid version of me. Yeah? We're talking about regression here, and we're talking about letting that inner child out to come out and play, but and also giving that care and understanding your inner child. However, in this term, the inner child in me, like I said, when it seeps through, this inner child in me was just like, oh, I really want that sweet, or I really want that cake. And for you to be able to successfully reparent yourself is you need to start giving yourself boundaries. So what I did was like, I was like, oh, actually, I really want that. Shall I? I don't know. But I didn't realize it at the time, yeah. And actually, I was just like, nah, I'm not. I don't need it. There's no need for me to get the cake. So it's all about a red velvet cake, by the way. So there's no need for me to get the cakes, and I didn't. And but so I managed to then sort of like put the boundary in myself. I'm like, okay, we're trying to be financially conscious. I didn't think that at the time, but I just said no to myself. And I was like, okay, we're trying to be financially conscious. We're trying to focus. We're gonna get the things that we only need. We need to stick to this list. And that was actually a lot harder than I thought it would be, because yeah, as I was trying to stick to the list, and I kept getting distracted by so many other things. I was just like, oh, like what's that? I want to get that. I want to get that. So going back to my point is, when your inner child seeps through, and that's kind of like in your day-to-day, like manifesting in your day-to-day life, right? So this is why we need to be able to have that kind of that level of awareness, because it can manifest in so many different ways. So yeah, for me, for example, my inner child was just like, I really want some, like, I really want some sweets. I really want this cake. Like, oh, that red velvet cake is so good. But what would you say to that child? You know that that's not good for them, because this kid hasn't eaten. This kid is just literally eating all the unhealthy stuff, yeah. And this kid was like, I want a whole red velvet cake to myself as well. Well, you just got to reparent yourself and just be like, okay, well, we can get that cake some other time, but at the moment, let's just try to stick to this. And the reason why I went into the whole tangent, I'm just trying to see how long I've been talking, 14 minutes. The reason why I went to this whole tangent was because of this whole work situation. So I don't need to explain myself. And this whole work situation has been, my therapist asked me about this today, and she was like, so how are you finding this? And I said, and she said, because I told her I've been looking for jobs. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. There's so many other things in this room. And sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, sorry. I was trying to get what it was. Anyways, so yeah, my therapist was like, okay, so how do you feel about the job searching? And I said, like a roller coaster. Initially I thought, oh my God, I've got to leave my job, all that kind of stuff. And it was just like the difficulty with trying to find a better job that's, that pays better. And I suppose I had that lack mindset where I didn't feel that, it kind of felt like I was being trapped, because it felt like I wouldn't have another job that is just as good as this, and that is good with this benefits, and that pays well, and all that kind of stuff. So I felt like I was trapped in it. And I eventually came to a realization also that I'm like, no, because there is a better job out there for me. There is going to be this job that I'm going to end up doing for, like, because I love it, and I don't have to feel like I'm going to work. Does that make sense? Because I'm doing something that I love, and I'm going to get paid for it. But in the meantime, before I get there, just in terms of this whole work situation and about me being off work at the moment, is that my mindset is now on where there is a better job out there for me. This is just a redirection. God is just redirecting me, because I've been having all these internal changes inside of me in the last November, December, January, February. Wait, what? November, December, January, 4 months. In the last 4 months, intensely in the last 4 months, by the way. Because we're going on for quite in the last year, I'd say, but very slowly. But it sped up in the last 4 months. I have no idea why, but it just really sped up, and it's what I've noticed about myself in the last 6 months, because I've been more self-aware. Anyways, yeah. So as I'm going through a lot of these internal changes, as within, so without, right? So as I'm going through a lot of these internal changes, there also has to be external changes around me that has externally my reality, like external reality, also has to reflect what's going inside of me, Wow. Thank you, Lord. That just came out. Oh, wow. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Yeah. As within, so without. No wonder why that's. Oh my God. Wait. Wow. So that as within, so without has been the phrase that's been going on. Like that's been kind of like in my head in the last week or so. Oh, this is such a big guidance. One second. Oh wow, that was a big realization. Oh Lord, thank you so much. As within, so without. That's crazy. Oh, that is amazing. What just happened there? So basically, this phrase "as within, so without" has been floating in my head in the last week, and I don't know why. It's literally just been coming out. It's mostly because as well, I had a disagreement with my aunt on the family group chat, and it was about basically religion, spirituality, whatever, however people want to label it. But it's essentially just having a relationship with God, a higher power. And I was discussing that with her, and it was because she is the kind of person that is, very, very strong in her opinions, very, very strong in her beliefs. And she's gone through a lot, and she is feeling very blessed and is really, what's the word? Glorious is the word that's coming to mind. So it's just that when she has her truths, like she validates herself for other people's opinions. So in this case, the topic was yoga, and essentially she was kind of like demonizing yoga and was like, you're inviting the unclean evil spirit or unclean spirit inside of you when you're doing yoga and all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, hang on a minute, let's not do that. And what I did was just to open up a new perspective, right? And it was just basically it was a very, 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 very long message. And I basically just said to her, like, I understand that that's your views, and I understand that that is your belief. While that may be your truth, I don't particularly agree that that's the case for me, right? Because I can't generalize, and I can't say like, this is everyone's truth. I'm just saying, like, this is like in terms of yoga, my truth about yoga and some other people's truths about yoga is just it's a mindfulness practice. It connects you from your mind. It connects your mind and your body. It connects you to those, and if you are in tune with your mind and you with your body, and you kind of connect them with the breathe with the breaths, and trying to doing it rhythmically. It really helps, and it's a great mindfulness practice. Anyways, I was saying to her, like, let's not do that, because you can't demonize a whole practice just because of your own beliefs. Like, I understand that may be your truth, and that may be your belief. I wouldn't necessarily say that this is that. And I basically was just like, showing her a whole different perspective, and she basically was just not having any of it, and she wasn't trying to understand. She claimed that she was open-minded and that she does listen. I don't particularly think that she did. Only because that's not how an open-minded person would respond. Nonetheless, within the message that I said to her, I kept saying, as within, so without. And the reason why I just cried is because that whole realization, because nothing is a coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. And as I become more self-aware, I realize that everything does happen for a reason. And yes, I have been thinking to myself, I was like, as within, so with that. And that's been going on in my head for quite a while. Sorry, I'm just been looking at how long I've been talking. I don't know why I'm being so self-conscious. Meg, just talk. There's no time limit. Just talk. It's only gonna be us. It's only about us. No one has to see this. Anyway, so in as within, so without. So with that, sorry. I'm self-conscious about the time because I have these thoughts in my head. I'm like, no one's gonna watch this video diary. No one's gonna watch you. Who's gonna sit there and watch you for a whole however long? And it's only 24 minutes. This is it's a critical part of my brain that criticizes things that I do sometimes. Again, I think that's like a mask. It's like a mask from this sorry, I'm losing my train of thought, that I've put up in the, I suppose that's in my head because I've been growing up, I've sort of felt that I'm not being listened to. I've felt that my opinions don't matter. And I've felt that whatever I say, people don't care about it. So I'm just giving myself grace. I'm just allowing myself to speak. There's no rush. My hand is forming like a fist. So to relax. It's okay. This is also a part of reparenting, I feel. It's just when those versions of you is just like, just wanting to talk, like that inner child wanting to express themselves, wanting to talk, and then you have those voices in your head, or that voice in your head that tells you, or you tell yourself that, oh, don't, hurry up, wrap this up, or no one's going to listen to you, all those critical, like, thoughts in your head and those voices in your head. That's coming from the society. That's coming from the environment that you grew up around, or the environment that you've been around. So I think it's a good way to look into it, and it's a good thing to kind of assess those parts of you. That's whatever they felt at the time when that happened, because I think that's as I'm healing, it's like this little version of me, or this younger version, Megan, is like, I don't feel like I'm being, like, I feel like I'm talking too much. Maybe I'm talking too much. And then that's when I started like checking at the time, and like, being mindful of the time and all that kind of stuff. But there's no rush. I don't even have to put this up. I can just talk to myself, and then I don't even have to put this up on YouTube. I don't have to. But that's about reparenting yourself, because I'm becoming that mother that I needed growing up, that is supportive, that will allow me my time to express myself, and just being compassionate. And that is reparenting yourself, because I'm giving myself what I needed and what I didn't have growing up. It's okay. That's better. And as I was doing that, then that helped me regulate my nervous system too. Anyways, what was I saying? As within, so without. So yeah. So that it's a thought that's been going on in my head, and I've applied that to my conversation with my aunt, and I kept saying it. And then like I said, it's just been, this phrase has just been floating in my head. And now I realize is that it's literally just God. This is God telling me, like, Meg, I mean, I have been saying it, that, I'm going through a lot of this internal changes right now, or I've been going through this internal changes, and God's literally just telling me that, like, you're going through this internal changes, and it's amazing that you're going through it and you're aware of that. But as within, so without. So if you're changing and you're evolving inside, internally as a human being, your external reality reflects that. Wow, praise God. And that is why the job that I'm in right now doesn't fit me. That is the reason why, as to the job that I've been having these difficulties in coping with my job, and that's because it just doesn't fit me anymore. It just doesn't really suit me anymore. It just doesn't really align with me anymore. And this is just God redirecting me. So it's the matter of change of perspective, because 2 years ago, or however many years ago, or anybody else, but for me personally, I'm like getting distracted with trying to how I word things now, but for me, if this was 2 years ago, I would have been like, oh my God, I'm not good at my job, like I'm inadequate, I'm not good enough for this job, what am I doing wrong, there's something wrong with me, all this kind of stuff, right? Don't get me wrong, I did have those thoughts, but then I was like, no, Meg, no, you are amazing. You are enough. You are amazing at your job. Actually, I am very good at my job because I excel. I don't have to explain myself to people, but just I suppose I'm just feeling the need to validate myself. So I'm just going to say it. But I get national A grades with my reports, and I see 6 to 7 cases in a day. Well, I think once I saw 8 cases in a day. And the target is 5 to 6 cases. So do you see what I mean? So when I am good, I am good at my job. But when I'm struggling, when I'm going through something, I don't need my numbers, and I usually just end up seeing 4 or 5. But nonetheless, the numbers don't matter. It matters how I feel. So, although I found that my job was helpful for me at the time, and I really, really did like my job, it just doesn't really fit me anymore. And like I said, I could have looked at it in any other way, and just look at it that, the world is against me because the job, I've had 2 jobs. I've had to move 2 jobs, because I haven't coped well, and I've had breakdowns for each one before I left the job. Each job. I mean, I'm still with this one, but still, before I left my other job, I had a breakdown. I had to leave. So my brain has been there, and or could have gone as well, was me thinking that, yeah, I'm not good enough for doing anything. But God has blessed me with a new perspective. So my perspective now is, this is just a redirection. As within, so without. Because I'm going through all these internal changes, and that is why, oh my, wait, sorry, download. But, oh wow, hang on. You know when they say that, like, there's a delay in time, right? So when you're trying to manifest something, okay, so excited. Oh my God. Okay, chills. Okay, so excited. Ooh, okay, chills. Okay, thank you. Well, you know when they say that when you're manifesting, and there's a delay into the reality, because when you're manifesting it, putting it out into the universe, sometimes there's a little bit of delay. So you just got to keep having faith, and eventually you realize that you're in a place where you've manifested, right? And I feel like this is what's happening. Not that I manifested this. I suppose I'm manifesting it, but I'm in the process of it. I have no idea what job is out there for me, but I know that something good is coming along, right? And yeah, this is I think I'm in the process of it, as within, so without. So because I'm having all these internal changes in my internal reality, my external reality has to follow. My external reality has to follow, and this is why this is the redirection. Because, yeah, oh, what an amazing perspective. Thank you, Lord. Oh, amazing. So that is it. As within, so without. And that's why I cried, because all of that was just like going on in my head. And yeah, it's just a lot of internal realization. And I'm really happy, and I'm so excited. Going back. Yeah, like I said, I am lucky to have the people I have around me. So I am so thankful. I'm getting tearful because it means a lot to me. I'm so lucky to have my friends. Yeah, I'm getting tearful because it means a lot to me. So, D, if you're ever watching this, thank you. I really appreciate you, man. So yeah. Anyways, what was I saying? I don't even know what I was saying. So I'm approaching this time off work as a redirection, and I'm just gonna keep doing me. I'm just gonna keep focusing on myself, taking it easy, taking it a day at a time. There's no rush. Try not to put pressure on myself, and yeah, see where this road takes me. I'm excited to see what God has in store for me. I can feel it in bones. I can chills. I can feel it in my bones. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is, but something good is coming. Something great is going to come along. Anyways, I'm going to end this now. So, last words, parting words. Meg, you are good enough. You are more than enough. You deserve the world. You deserve everything that your hearts desire. Just follow your heart, and it will lead you to the best places. Trust God. Trust in the universe. Trust God, and the universe will provide. Don't let other people's beliefs or other people's opinions affect you. You know what's true in your heart, and that's what you should listen to. Follow your heart. Take care of yourself. Take good care of yourself. And be kind. Be kind to yourself. Not just other people, but be kind to yourself as well. Anything else? No. That's it. All right. This is the end of my video diary on the 13th of February. Oh, it's Sean's birthday today as well. So it's his 9th birthday today. So happy birthday, Sean. I love you. I will always be here for you. And I love you so much. All right. I'm getting distracted. Bye.